prepare your voice.
Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for joining another special edition of the show. This is episode 45. We are 1 week away from the TWF podcast 1 year anniversary. We are exchanging paper gifts. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Paper cheap gifts. But you are now listening to the Wrestling Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Bang South, Jason Fastkade, and along this ride, I have my dude, the guy, the best in the world today, the man, Trent Williams, the only guy I know that has researched the entire UK competitors and has a strong prediction on who will win it. But more on that later. Trent, we got a lot to get to, man. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it, man. Let's take it from the top, man. We had Raw, we had SmackDown, we had NXT 205 Live, and of course, just craziness in the world of professional wrestling. So take it from the top, man. Where do you want to begin?
I guess we can start at Raw.
All right, okay.
First thing is Mick Foley's hair is shorter again. I guess he lost another bet.
Yeah, Mick Foley looks like a 7-year-old now.
Yeah. I said next week, if he loses another one, he's gonna be bald.
Nah, I think next week. Nah, I think next week he's going Milli Vanilli just with the wig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like instead of cutting it shorter, he's just gonna come back with just something hilarious.
Seth Rollins entered himself in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
We had another segment with Rollins and Owens and Jericho, the same 4 people we get every week. It's amazing. It's amazing. Raw has a bigger roster than SmackDown, yet they still have the same 4 people every week, where SmackDown can have 5 or 6 different people in the main event scene.
It's Raw, man. It's the traditional Raw. The same people are at the top of the show as at the bottom of the show. No sneak peeks into what the future could be. We're just gonna keep rotating this title or this main event spot between the 4 of those guys. So nothing new there.
Pretty much, if you're lower on the card, you're gonna stay lower on the card. You ain't gonna get a chance to rise above.
And that's funny, man, because what would be your highlight of the week then if you were never in the main event? Like, do you challenge yourself to get on the main event for Superstars or main event? Is that what you do? Like, you were the headliner for main event, the match before Raw happened, or I don't know. It's just because you're never going to get in that main spotlight if you're not one of the top guys.
I guess your motivation would be the thing that everybody's talking about for the next week.
Yeah, true. That could be that could get some people interested and allow you to have a prominent role on the show. Yeah. Very good point.
So Stephanie is giving Mick Foley a what's she called, a performance review, and she got mad because he said the Undertaker's going to be there, but yet it's not a definite thing. And Undertaker was last seen on SmackDown, so she's all pissy at Mick Foley because she don't want to be lying to the fans.
Well, here's the thing, man. I would have loved this if the Undertaker didn't show up. Honestly, I mean, if you're going to say we think he'll show up, we're not sure if he'll show up. We're not in the era where he was really the dead man, coming out of dirt and everything like that. Right. And we're not 6 years old, If you show him on a poster, he should be there. If he's not, I think that increases the level of anticipation for the following week.
Right.
I think more people were anticipating the return of Eva Marie or Eva Marie's first match more than the number of people who thought the Undertaker was not there or going to be there on Monday night.
Yeah, I mean, they had, they ain't going to advertise that he might be there. I mean, if they advertise him, he's going to be there.
Yeah, so
they never advertise. When the advertisements, they never really said that he might be there. I mean, they were pretty sure he was going to be there.
Yeah, but then to come out with this performance review and that's just ridiculous, man.
Which Mick Foley is going to fail this performance review for stuff he done in 2016 because of something that happens in 2017.
I don't think his 6 months practically ended last week, but
No.
if it did, then that's the calendar year for them, I guess. Hopefully they follow that for the next 6 months, and we'll see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, and what are the chances that Triple H is the reason Seth Rollins gets eliminated from the Rumble?
I don't know, man. Sooner or later, you have to do that, right? I mean, sooner or later,
Yeah.
you have to bring Triple H back. Will it happen at the Royal Rumble? Maybe it happens at Fastlane, right? That's the next one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we could possibly have that. But if we're aiming in the direction for Triple H versus Seth, the sooner the better, right?
Yep. We got Jack Gallagher defeating Drew Gulak. Yeah, that wasn't nothing too much, just a match. We get Shawn Michaels coming out plugging his movie that he's in.
Are you gonna go see Shawn Michaels movie?
I doubt it.
Not are you a Shawn Michaels fan?
Yeah.
Are you a Shawn Michaels? Are you a fan of the converted Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm more a fan of that Shawn Michaels than I am the pre-converted Shawn Michaels.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Have you seen a trailer for the movie?
Yeah.
I saw one where they asked the guy to pray, and obviously he had never prayed before, and it was awkward, but I guess that's part of the movie, right? Regardless whether you're gonna go see the movie or not, do you respect people when they come back and just plug stuff only to plug it?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, he ain't got no other way to plug it, really, I guess. I mean, what better way than on Raw, where everybody can see it?
Okay, true.
I mean, if he would have come out there and just done that and then not got involved in the whole Rusev thing, I would have been a little bit disappointed because I expect, like Undertaker, he just come out there and talked and then he was gone. I was more disappointed than that.
Right, Undertaker going to be there more often. I mean, yeah, the least Shawn Michaels could do was super kick somebody, right? That's the least that he could do. Other than come out, say a few corny jokes, and have somebody say "suck it." Him plugging his movie, he slid that in there, and that was cool. Just wanted to get your take on it, man, because we've all seen people do this. Hey, I'm here to celebrate Raw, but make sure you go check out my movie.
Right.
And I don't really know how much profit they get from doing that, but that's a big market, man. Being able to show your trailer or be able to plug your movie on Monday Night Raw is a big deal for some people.
Yeah. And I'm actually surprised kind of that this is a WWE movie. This don't seem like something they would do.
Yeah, I thought it was a WWE movie, but I also thought it. Let me ask you this: is it entirely a WWE movie?
I don't know. It's WWE Films, I guess.
Because the majority of their movies, they go straight to DVD.
Right.
I mean, if they're in the theater for maybe a week or two, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But hey, man, good luck to Sean. The trailer I saw was pretty funny, and pretty sure they could make a good film. I don't think he's like the main lead in it.
No.
So.
It looks like Rusev is now like the guy who, when the part-timers decide to come in, he's the one that gets beat up or talked trash about.
Yeah. He's definitely the person that they designate to get his butt kicked.
Yeah. And, let's see. And then we talked about Steph is in the Rumble match. And Jack Gallagher defeated Drew Gulak. Neville defeated Lince Dorado. And he's got a new finisher now, the Rings of Saturn.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Which is, I guess, is pretty good because you don't really need a heel to be having a high-flying move.
Yeah, that was the one thing I was unsure about due to the fact that he's definitely your top heel.
Looks like we're having Sheamus and Cesaro against Gallows and Anderson feuding now.
Yeah, I think I'm just not going to watch the tag team division for a while. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I was never a Sheamus and Cesaro or Cesaro fan.
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to watch. That's my plan.
I know. I wish Cesaro was doing something else, but this is better than nothing.
Yeah, and I think this is a chance for other tag teams to get noticed. I mean, Guns and Gallows came in, on a big wave, and they just slacked off. So maybe maybe it allows others to get their shine now that New Day's kind of out of the picture.
Yeah. And the thing with Guns and Gallows, you're not going to have that good of matches either. I mean, people talk about how big they were in Japan. Even their matches in Japan were like the least entertaining thing on the show.
Well, I have to side with you on that one, man. I mean, obviously when it came over, the whole Bullet Club trio,
Right.
everyone was waiting for AJ Styles, which I get that. But I didn't know how good or great or terrible these guys were. But I figured they would still have this mystique, and that the WWE could make them look like badass.
Right.
And they haven't.
No. And Carl Anderson, I think if he was without Gallows, it's just a singles guy, he would do a lot better. I think Gallows, drags him down a lot.
How so?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people I've heard have said that they've watched Anderson in singles matches have said he's really good. But I guess he just don't care to show it, when he's in tag matches with Gallows for some reason.
Okay. I see where you're coming from there. I mean, Gallows is your giant, I guess. And he has to play that role. I don't really see him moving around as much as Anderson can. So there's a bit of a contrast there, and it needs to work out a lot better than what they have.
Yeah, and compared to even some of the other giants, take Albert or Tomko, I think they even had a better reputation over there in Japan than Gallows did.
Right. I mean, let's kick it back to WWE for a second. I mean, it could be, I don't want to use this comparison, but Kane and X-Pac.
Yeah.
Like when they had their run, I mean, you can get it done. It's just the fact that Gallows has to show a little bit more, and he just, I don't know. It seems like he's the worst out of the two.
Yep. We had the Undertaker thing. Did we talk about that?
No, that's what I want to get to, man. Because last week, like I mentioned, we ran through all the different scenarios for what the WrestleMania matches would be for Raw, but we didn't shed any light on SmackDown. And that was because, hey, the majority of your matches, your big high-profile matches, you would really probably see them come out of the Raw situation. But now that John Cena's back, now that The Undertaker's back and entering the Royal, now that the rumored match between John Cena and The Undertaker could happen. What do you think?
No, it's not happening.
Uh-oh. Breaking news.
I read the other day they're not wanting to do it now.
Okay, so where do you see The Undertaker going now that he's in the Royal Rumble? Obviously, do you think the Undertaker wins the Royal Rumble?
No, because I think Undertaker is facing Strowman.
Okay. So Strowman cost him the match, and they have a feud. I don't know how long you can stretch a feud with him and Strowman for, but Strowman rest in peace at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but they said, I didn't even pay attention to this, but they said Strowman was watching the monitor while Undertaker was doing his little speech in the ring.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm guessing that's what we're getting.
Okay, and I'm cool with that. So what does that do for who do we have pegged for Strowman at WrestleMania? Roman Reigns?
No, we had, I don't remember who we had. No, because I had the Roman and Goldberg thing going on.
Right, and I had this mega match with Kevin Owens facing Goldberg and Brock. I think I had Braun Strowman going up against Roman Reigns. But so,
okay.
All right. So where would you put? Where would you put Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns, I'm putting against Goldberg.
So you think Roman Reigns beats Kevin Owens and Goldberg wins the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
And then we get Goldberg and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
And Roman beats Goldberg.
And Roman beats Goldberg. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Nicely done.
And I have even more faith that happening since Roman is now off the U.S. title.
Yeah, you kind of knew that was coming sooner or later, right? Every single week, the title's on the line. I mean, next week he would be tied to a chair in a fatal four-way or something. I mean, it was bound to happen that he was going to lose the title. And now up against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble, he may win it. He may win it. But we'll save that for our predictions, in a couple weeks?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Then we had, with the women, we had Charlotte and Nia defeating Bayley and Sasha. But before the match, Sasha goes into Stephanie's office, and which her office don't even look like an office. It looks like they're just standing on the background or something now. They used to have these nice-looking offices. Well, they downgraded a lot. But she comes in, and then Stephanie tries to do her thing, which is an instant channel changer for me now. I used to be such a
big fan of Stephanie McMahon. Like in 2000, 2001, 2002, I was a fan of hers.
Wait. You were a fan of her body or her character?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't think she was that bad. I mean, because a lot of people say they can't stand her and stuff, you know, but even back then. Now, she's gotten so bad where I can't even pay attention to what she looks like because the words coming out of her mouth are like nails on a chalkboard. The way she does everybody, the way she emasculates them.
Yeah, because, well, she's playing the Vince role, though, right? Like, she's
I don't even know if Vince was that bad.
Well, Vince was bad, let's be honest. It's just the fact that, first of all, she's a female and she's running the company, so you can really get aggressive with her.
Right.
I mean, like, with Vince, everyone threatened to punch Vince or, get his face. You can't do that with Steph. And so she gets her digs into everyone, and she can say anything that she wants to, and no one really can come back at her. I mean, it's just what it is.
But that's the thing. Now she's doing it to the women, and the women can get back at her, though.
But listen, do you ever, let's just throw it out there. Do you ever see a diva punching Stephanie McMahon in the face? Or slapping?
No, but she could at least tell her off or try to fire back at her a little bit.
Hell, though, see, the only thing with Stephanie, the only flaw under Stephanie's umbrella, I guess, is the fact that she's in control now because she married Triple H. So,
right. Well, that's more of a flaw for him than it is for her.
Well, I'm not saying that it's a flaw for him, but Triple H has to fight her battles, right? Because she's never going to get in the ring. So, she's in control. So, at the end of the day, no one has anything to say on Stephanie. I mean, that's it. Long are the days where slop is going to get tossed on Stephanie McMahon, and Devon and Bubba Dudley are never going to put it through a table. So, you can't touch them, which kind of sucks. That's what it is.
It does, yeah. And have you heard the latest news on what they're doing with the Raw women on Mania?
No. What is the rumored expectation for the Raw women?
Looks like we're getting a four-way between the four girls that were in the match this week: Sasha, Bayley, Nia, and Charlotte.
Oh, they're going to hold that all the way until WrestleMania?
I reckon. So don't look like Bayley might not get her big, one-on-one match with Charlotte like we expected. Which sucks.
Okay, here's the thing. Obviously, she was getting past Bayley at the Royal Rumble. You can transfer that and make Bayley hot, but still have Charlotte win the match. So, I mean, I'm for that. Like, right now, as we're going right now, I don't see enough steam behind Bayley for her to be champion at Mania. I mean, people like her. She's entertaining. I think her promos need a lot of work, and I think her matches need a little bit more work too. I mean, they're just not that great. But everything needs to be built up, man. I mean, you need more storylines for Bayley, more segments with Bayley for people to get to know her. Now that you're on a bigger stage, we're not in Full Sail anything with 100 people. So just gotta work a little bit more on Bayley. Yeah, and where in the world has Daniel Brooke been? She ain't been seen on TV in a while. What she on? Well, yeah, she was on TV, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? Yeah, that's quite a while, though, for her. Listen, man, we never know when Emma's coming back. Hopefully Emma comes back with her. Hopefully she'll be back by 2020. Basically. Now that Nia is the muscle for Charlotte, you really don't need Dana Brooke, right? Yeah. But we are happy that Daniel Brooke has stepped up and, took the leadership role for all the transgender athletes of the world. Yeah. Speaking of that, before we move on Raw, did you happen to watch TNA last night? No, I did not. What happened? Damian Sandow, who's known as Aaron Rex on the show, is now in a Liberace gimmick. Okay, here's the thing, man. He's pretty good at it, huh? I saw that because TNA is obviously taping a lot. What is it? Yeah, what is it? Yeah, it's basically a Liberace. Like, he's even got his little guy friend or whatever that introduces him and everything, which is played by Rockstar Spud. And he's really good at it. Wait. So what? Wait. Rockstar Spud is now Liberace's ring announce, or what is it? Lackey? Lackey, I guess. Yeah, Lackey. Yeah. Okay. All right. And Aaron Rex is now portraying an alternate lifestyle? I guess, yeah. Okay. I mean, hey, whatever works for him. I
I heard this was a character that he had actually suggested to WWE to do, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far he gets with it, but more power to him, man. Good luck with that gimmick.
Yeah. I mean, he's a talented guy. I mean, anything he gets, he usually can get over pretty good.
Well, but what happened with the gimmick he had? Him just being Aaron Rex and him being him. What happened with that?
I don't know. He was off TV for a couple of weeks and he come back last night as this. I guess that's the new, I guess that's what Anthem wanted him to do or something. They let him do it. The new owners of TNA.
Okay, man. However he succeeds,
Yep.
Yeah, man, that's, wow. Because he just debuted, like literally just debuted.
Yeah.
But, maybe that didn't work for him.
Yeah. And, Allie was on there last night. That's why I was watching it, you know. I have to watch through the rest of it to make sure I don't miss her.
Yeah, that's what you wanted to get to. I don't even think you cared about the rest of the show.
Well, I mean, I'll watch all of it because I don't want to miss her, and I do catch a couple of things that are pretty interesting, but for the most part, it's just her or the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, speaking of TNA, man, I did read some spoilers. Is it okay if I blow it for you?
No.
Okay, Moose is now the grand champion, the new
Right.
grand champion for his first title within TNA. What the heck is this grand champion, and how is it different from the actual TNA champion or TNA Impact champion?
Well, the matches have different rules. It's kind of like an MMA thing, sort of, where they have rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically they have rounds, and like in any round you can win by pin or submission. But if the round's up and nobody wins, they go to the next round. And then they have judges at ringside. And if the match don't end after 3 rounds, the judges, whoever gets 2 out of the 3 falls, you know, that the judges decide on wins the match.
And these rounds, are they 3 rounds or 5 rounds? I mean, 3 minutes or 5 minutes?
I think they're 3 rounds of 3 minutes.
Okay, 3
It might be 5. It might be 5 minutes. I'm not sure.
I got you. 3 minutes, and then they go to a commercial, or what?
No, I think sometimes they usually just go into the next round.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I saw this, and I'm thinking, wow, Moose came in with a bang, didn't he? Like, he's already the TNA champion, but then I read that Bobby's still a champion, so I didn't know if this was like...
No, Bobby ain't the champion no more.
Oh, yeah, who's the champion now?
Eddie Edwards.
Oh, wow, okay, all right, well...
Yeah, and the Wolves are now back together after Davey Richards has now returned.
Yeah, I thought he was going to turn on him, but yeah, I'm glad they're back together.
Yeah, well, spoiler alert, I think he does in a couple of weeks.
Great, oh man.
You know who he's with, don't you? Davey Richards.
Yeah, Angelina Love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just had a kid or something like that.
Yep.
That's crazy. Okay, so TNA is all in flux with brand new champions and results that probably won't air until March.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But at least they're not being talked about, you know, having to leave a network this year. I mean, they're a little bit on a positive note this year.
Yeah, I mean, I heard there's some contracts expiring, so as long as they can keep their guys, I think they'll be in good shape. I don't know. Wow. Let me ask you this, man. What's the pecking order right now? Obviously, WWE is still number 1. But who's number 2? Literally, who is number 2?
As far as the U.S., I think it'd either be Lucha Underground or Ring of Honor.
Okay.
But if you're talking about all of wrestling, it had to be New Japan as number 2.
And see, I would say New Japan only because they have the biggest name right now. Obviously, we didn't even get to talk about this last week because I hadn't seen the match yet. What did you think about the Okada Omega match at Wrestle Kingdom 11?
I thought it was amazing. Like I said in my review that I wrote, I think it's going to be hard for any company to try to top this match this year. I think it'll be hard for any company to top the whole show.
Did you watch the entire show?
I did.
How did you feel about the show up until the main event?
It was a pretty good show. There was only really one match that I didn't really care for, which was the tag team titles, the 3-way. That's the only match I didn't really care for.
Okay, I got you. But this Okada Omega match, oh my gosh, man. I mean, like, first, even if you're just talking about just a match between these two guys, but to lead off the year, not only to have probably one of the best matches ever, top to bottom, let's be honest. Went about 42, 45 minutes, and then literally at the top of the year, you had one of the greatest matches ever. So what do you expect everyone else to do, promotion by promotion?
they're going to have to try something to try to beat that. I mean, you know, and the thing about that is usually when you get a 45-minute match, you're going to have down periods in the match. I don't think there was any down periods in that match where I was bored or looking at the time.
No, like the earliest parts of the match were a little. I mean, they were a little slow, but not really that much to where you were like, okay, this is kind of dragging. I don't know. I mean, it was a normal match. You knew it was leading up to something bigger and bigger, but it just kept building and building and building. And man, the match was awesome. I don't have anything negative to say about the match, other than the fact that the table spot was a little bit sketchy, and the drop kick off the top when he kicked him in the back of the head looked a little dangerous. But wow, I could watch that match over and over.
Yeah, I mean that backdrop over the ropes on the table, that was pretty cool.
Well, but you know, once again, why are the tables so skinny?
You read my review, didn't you? Did you read my review before I said that?
No, I have not read. I read the one about the women, but not the Okada match.
Yeah, well, I actually read about the whole show, but yeah, I was like, why are these tables in Japan so skinny?
I didn't understand.
I guess because they don't eat as much as we do, so they don't have to have a big table.
Nicely done, my friend. I mean, like you may have a great point there, and maybe they're just different. I don't know. The elevated platform, not a real big fan of, but I kind of get it. You want to elevate them. One thing I noticed about the Tokyo Dome is it's flat, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess everyone's looking at the Jumbotron.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have some like high seats, I think, but.
Okay. Well, you know, just from to be honest, the dark, smoky feel of the show, you don't see outside to where you see people in bleachers. It looks like everyone's sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's definitely weird how they have it, you know, how they fit them in Japan. It's kind of odd. How the announce tables are, you know, you see the guardrail and then the announce tables, where in the WWE it's like the announce tables and then the guardrail.
Yeah. And their guardrail was, I mean, come on, it's paper thin.
I mean, anybody could jump over that thing if they wanted to. I mean, I'm glad that people over in Japan are pretty calm people. You know, if the guardrails like that were still out there in America, we would have fans running in the ring all the time.
You said the people in Japan are very calm.
Yeah.
What's it like for you to watch a match like that and not hear the craziness that you would hear from a U.S. audience?
Well, to be honest, they're actually more vocal now than they used to be. I've watched some of the 90s, 94, 95, like New Japan stuff with like Benoit and Guerrero, and they were completely silent. But now they kind of get into it a little bit more.
And I think that works for them. Like, that's their culture, right? Like, that's their culture, right? To let the performers perform.
Right.
And I don't know, it still seems a little weird to me, especially in big moments. Like, you might hear, but you don't, you know, like, there's no, my gosh, what am I trying to do? This is awesome. Yeah, like, you don't hear anything like that. But at the end, man.
I like in the middle of a match where all of a sudden you'll hear a random person go, Okada! Omega!
Right. Like stuff like that is cool. At the end of the match, people were crying.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't get that out of a U.S. audience.
No.
You know, but not even New Japan, NJP, or something. But I don't know, man. It was just different watching it. I think I want to watch it back when Jim Ross finally does the English commentary.
Yeah, that's tonight.
Okay. Because the English commentary I heard, honestly, was awful.
You didn't like Carino and Kevin Kelly?
No. I didn't, because of the fact that they were trying to call the moves, and they didn't know them. So stuff like that, just, come on. And I don't think they really set up the storyline, or I didn't have any recollection of the actual feud between Omega and Okada like I did when Okada faced Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, Jim Ross and I think Slater, they told you everything. And Kevin Kelly and the other guy, they didn't tell you jack.
Yeah. Yeah, the last 4 matches on that show are really good. They're like, none of them are below 4 stars.
Okay. Like I said, Wrestle Kingdom 11, especially the main event, has everybody paying attention right now. So I wonder what people are going to do in their matches with their spots for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, for Dave Meltzer to go beyond 5 stars that tells you just how good it is.
Yeah. And were you surprised that Okada still came out as champion?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. You know, their booking over there, I have to get used to it because it's not the same that I would expect on like a WWE or US show.
Where like their biggest show, the title didn't change hands?
Yeah. Like Kenny Omega has all this momentum, and like they didn't give him the title. I thought that was kind of odd.
Right. Yeah,
but for more on my thoughts on that show, go to mythoughtsonprowrestling.blogspot.com. My new blog that I've set up where I'll be talking about different stuff in wrestling and try to review shows in a written format.
Nicely done, my friend.
And how did you like my article on the women?
Your article on the women was eye-opening. It was fascinating to see the research that you had conducted and just show the progression from the early outset of what women's wrestling was portrayed as, and where we are now, and just all the things in between. Not necessarily due to the performers, but the person who's pulling the strings, creating the segments for them, and then the atmosphere that they were involved in, and the eras that they were involved in. So yeah, it was very, very interesting read.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the article, we ain't completely perfect with how the women are treated in wrestling, but we're a whole hell of a lot better than we used to be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said before, if we have more women in society, even in the entertainment era, that are praised more, that are put on more of a pedestal, that are idolized more, that's how you can push the envelope with your women wrestlers, with how athletic they can be, how big of a superstar the women can be, not necessarily over the men, but and put on par with the men. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's no reason that they can headline and put on the same show that the guys do.
Yep. Well, I guess we should probably get back to WWE talking. That's what our show is.
Yeah. So all right. So I think we took care of Raw, right?
One more thing I want to talk about, and that's the New Day. Right. I thought that Titus thing was supposed to be a 1 week thing, and it looks like that's what we're going with now for a while. And I'm really worried about New Day.
I'm really not. I mean, like we mentioned before, the tag team division is just boring, and it does get them out of the mold of always having to have matches and always having a certain division profiled every week. You know, maybe next week we get something different from the New Day within the tag team division. But
I'll tell you what we're getting next week probably. Next week we're probably getting Big E against Titus.
Well, we know that this is the ultimate progression. Like we know that Big E is going to separate from his girls, and this may be the start of that, man. Yeah. This may be the start of that.
Yep. And I think that's all Raw. Another match show, nothing special.
All right.
We can move on to SmackDown.
Yeah, man. Listen, for SmackDown, it's all going to come down to, is John Cena going to beat AJ Styles?
Yeah. I guess we can go ahead and talk about the Mania stuff as far as SmackDown goes, what we think might happen.
Well, listen, man, what do you think is going to happen with that match in particular? I think everything falls in line from there, right? If John Cena beats AJ Styles, do you think he faces anyone from SmackDown for the title other than AJ Styles?
I don't see how there's anybody on there that could really face him other than AJ again.
Right.
Unless they move Miz up.
They have a WrestleMania rematch this time with both times Miz was champion, but this time what am I talking about? Yeah, you can do the WrestleMania rematch with Miz as the challenger and Cena as your champion.
Right. And it might work this time because because Miz wouldn't be the third man in a feud between The Rock and the Cena.
Right. And oh my gosh. What if Miz beat Cena at WrestleMania?
Oh, that'd be awesome. No pun intended.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible, man. But listen, like other than that, what do you have? Maybe AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose for the IC belt? I mean, what like?
Yeah, I think we might need a part-timer to come over to SmackDown and do something. Unfortunately.
That's why I said it makes so much sense for the Undertaker to face John Cena. Dare I say Goldberg and Cena?
Yeah. Maybe no, because Ziggler's a heel now. I'd say do a Ziggler-AJ feud, but he's a heel.
Right. I mean, these are things that you have to think about. Obviously, the tag team division on SmackDown, that's going to be good regardless. Like, it's not, listen, I mean, we might get Randy versus Bray straight up, but then the tag team bitches, I mean, there's no limit to the combinations that you can create with those. You know, probably American Alpha versus the Usos, maybe, or if Bray and Randy stay together, you know, maybe a triple threat there, something like that. But it all goes back down to the main event picture.
Yeah. What about the women on SmackDown?
Same thing, man. I mean, maybe another four-way, maybe we have yet to throw out a big gimmick match, right? Like, we have yet to throw out a ladder match.
We're getting a cage match.
Oh, yeah, we are getting a cage. Finally, we're getting a cage match.
Yeah.
With Alexa and the last kicker, right? Yeah.
Yep. Boy, my two girls in the cage going at each other.
And your favorite girl, La Luchadora, will probably rear her head in the situation.
Yeah, but that's the thought I had on SmackDown this week. There was not enough bliss on my SmackDown this week. That's the negative.
There was not enough what?
Bliss. Alexa Bliss.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me tell you what there was not enough of.
Naomi?
And the Usos, first of all.
Yeah.
There was not enough time to tell whoever was in charge of SmackDown that Carmella Ellsworth and that 1950s young Moolah person did not need to be out there. I mean, that was terrible.
Yeah.
First off, that has to go on Botchamania.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
It has to. But for a second there, I thought that woman could have been La Luchadora.
Yeah. Yeah, next week I guess we get to see Carmella take James Ellsworth on a shopping spree.
These are the things, these are the reasons I like SmackDown, but I can't go over the deep end. Whatever's going to happen with this needs to hurry up and finish. But once again, man, how is she going to take advantage of James Ellsworth? How?
Yeah, I don't know. Did we get anything with Nikki and we got Nikki getting beat up by Natalya this week.
Yeah, this feud is really going strong, man. I mean, I did like the way that they had to be separated. It looked very hard hitting when they were fighting. So I don't know what kind of match we'll get. I don't think it'll be a 5-star match, but it's definitely one of the biggest feuds in the women's division for SmackDown.
Yeah, and I hate to do it, but I have to give Natalya some credit. She's been pretty good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and what they're doing is just throwing jabs at each other. So that builds it up. You know, like none of their wrestling matches have been great, but if they're throwing jabs at each other and just fighting, that's what people want to see. That's what's entertaining right now.
Yeah, and let's see, we had Kalisto defeating Dolph Ziggler. And then Ziggler laying him out with a chair. Then Apollo coming to save him, and Apollo getting laid out by a chair. Too bad this ain't December. I thought we was having a chairs match.
Is Dolph Ziggler the biggest heel right
now? Number 2 behind me is
Yeah. Like I said, I just want Apollo to get elevated through this. Not really concerned with Ziggler or what Ziggler does.
Yeah, Kalisto.
Well, I don't know what Kalisto does in this instance, right? For some reason, Apollo Crews and Kalisto were buddies.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, is this a feud between Ziggler and Apollo or Ziggler and Kalisto?
Exactly. I really have no idea why Apollo felt the need to get involved with Kalisto. Kalisto's not a 16-year-old boy like he looks like, you know? I mean, he's small like a 5th grader, but he's a grown man. Let him handle his grown man problems. And now Ziggler's just running through everybody.
Yep. And in the main event, we had John Cena defeating Baron Corbin. Bad decision. They're trying to build Corbin up. Why is he losing clean to John Cena?
Yeah, he did. I forgot about that. For some reason, I kept thinking AJ interfered, but yeah, he did lose straight up and down.
Yeah, I wish AJ. That's what I thought was going to happen when AJ was going to interfere.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a typical Super Cena match too. Baron dominates the entire thing, and then out of nowhere, the F5. So
yeah. Have you had a chance to see what Ryback's been saying about John Cena that they had over on WrestleZone?
Say that again?
Have you had a chance to see what Ryback has been saying about John Cena?
No, dude. I haven't paid it. What is a non-WWE or a released WWE wrestler have to say about one of the top guys in the company? I bet it's not anything positive.
No, it's not. It's pretty bad. Says he's a poison to the industry. Said that he stopped guys from getting over. Talking about the problems between Alex Riley and John Cena. That's why Alex Riley never got over.
Right.
It's over on WrestleZone. You can check it out.
Listen, man, Dave. I mean, he may have a point in what he's saying.
Right.
But
you can't believe it because he's disgruntled because he got released.
But that's the thing, man. That's like saying Alex Riley and Darren Young couldn't get over because of John Cena. Let me ask you this. If you put a filter on Instagram of John Cena and give him a flat top, he looks like Darren Young. If you gave him long, greasy hair and maybe gave him a small tan, he looks like Alex Riley. I mean, come on.
I think Alex Riley actually looks more like The Miz.
If the Miz drank protein shakes and pumped steroids for like 3 years, I give you that. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just they're the same guy, or they fit different molds that are already there. You know, you can't have. We're not going to get another guy with even a marginally large belly on Raw because Kevin Owens is there. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So you can rant all you want and get better examples.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can now move to 205 Live. Noam Dar defeated Cedric Alexander, and so Alicia calls Cedric the match when he goes for a moonsault, and she pulls Noam out of the way. And so they break up, and Alicia Fox has the meltdown of the year, and this is only January of 2017.
Nicely done. Wait a minute. I thought she was the one that was tonguing down Noam Dar.
She was. I think they had it where she can't decide who she wants.
Okay. All right.
Yes, the cruiserweight. Guys that can go out there and bust their butt wrestling, but they have to be involved in love triangle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that has to be one of the ABCs to WWE booking. Like, at least let's have one strong feud where top guy goes against top guy. We need one romantic angle, and we need one totally goofy gimmick angle. Like, if you have those three, you at least got a 1 hour show, right?
Yeah. Brian Kendrick defeated Sean Maluda, and Gallagher and Daivari are going to face off in an I Forfeit match next week, or sometime. They didn't say next week. But.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much I'm watching 205 Live for Gallagher and Neville right now. Those are my two favorites on there right now.
I can see that. Let me ask you the question that I had from the very beginning.
Okay.
What does the response seem to be from the live audience, considering this is their third hour, considering they have already seen the end of SmackDown?
Right.
Obviously, they can make it look full, but what does it feel like watching the show?
I think they're getting a little bit more into it because we have storylines. You know, I think the whole Neville thing has got a little bit of interest in it, but it's never going to get, where people are too interested in it, unfortunately.
Well, do you think by the end of the year they drop the show? Not because it's bad, because it's not because they can't, get it to a better place. Like the CWC was awesome, but the CWC was in a different time zone, a different time element. If you cannot move the show to a different time, I don't think it has legs. I don't think it can work. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, even watching it, I feel like 2 hours is pretty much almost the max for me, unless it's a big show like a pay-per-view, because after I watch SmackDown, I watch 205, but I'm not interested sort of as much as I am like SmackDown, but I just got done watching.
Right.
Like some weeks it feels like, oh, I just watched SmackDown. Oh man, I got another hour to go. I got to watch 205 Live now.
Right. And my thing is, like I said, the Cruiserweight Classic was totally separate from NXT. And let's be honest, it might have been in the same building, but it looked like it was in two different arenas. You had a totally different landscape from looking at the show.
Yeah.
And you had something that was built from NXT and then built from a totally new crop of superstars. So with this show, how it's formatted now, I came to see John Cena and AJ Styles. Okay, I saw them. That's great. Now I got to sit through a different universe practically, right? A different set of guys, and then build up to what ultimately might not be a good main event for them. So why would I watch that? Like, why would I stay? Why would I even stay? I would rather just jump on the traffic and head home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, first off, why does this need to be live? Why don't they just tape it before SmackDown and then show it at 10 o'clock on the network?
But do you think that makes it come off as your superstars or your main event, or just a show that's less valuable?
No, because, I mean, the Cruiserweight Classic, it was taped like weeks in advance, some of it, you know, and it never felt like that.
But they're like, and see, that was the thing, man.
Well, and another thing, it's not going to feel like Superstars and main event because they actually have feuds where Superstars and main event are just guys going on there to wrestle just because the heck of it, you know.
And I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're absolutely wrong. From my many days of just leaving Hulu running, they had feuds. They were trash. They were garbage. But you saw Darren Young, Curtis Axel, Neville, the Usos. You saw those guys every week on Superstar. Kind of like you're seeing now with 205, where the same guys are out there every single week. I was going to ask you, what do you think made the Cruiserweight Classic work or so special? And you just hit it on the head, man. Like, every week we got somebody new. And they were coming out just showcasing all that they could do. So I just don't see them working, trying to build a show after another big show.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's they definitely going to have to do something about it, I think, eventually.
Yeah, I would think they would. Man, I just don't see why they wouldn't move. Like,
I mean, and with this show, why don't we even need to see them on Raw at all, anyway?
Well,
I mean, other than fill time, I guess.
Right, we're filled in time, but let me ask you this, Trent. When you heard that first of all, that the Cruiserweights are coming, oh my gosh, but when you heard that they were going to be on Raw, didn't you get a sense of the old WCW Nitro days where probably the best matches were the luchadors?
Yeah.
And so you were looking forward to having somebody do some amazing flip where they twisted 15 times in the air and, you know, did somersaults all over the ring. We're not necessarily getting that. We're not getting exciting matches. We're getting more of WWE booking with guys that are shorter and smaller in weight class.
Yeah, and another thing that hurts it is now the main event guys can do the same thing that the Cruiserweights can do.
True, because the Cruiserweights are doing not much more than what
Seth Rollins
are doing. Yeah. Like when WCW had the luchadors, they were flying all over the place. Now, you know, everybody's. I guess
they're making Cruiserweights do rest holds.
Yeah, I guess you could say they're doing a softer schedule, like a softer match, but like you're not getting Rey Mysterios out there doing just crazy flips and psychoses and movies, just doing crazy stuff every week. They're playing it sound and they're playing it safe. It's just not paying off.
Right, I agree. Yeah, I mean, as bad as people say the Cruiserweights were treated in WCW, they were treated a whole lot better than these guys I feel are being treated.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, the 205 Live and the Cruiserweights, good luck to them, man. I just don't see how long it can last.
Yeah, and here's another thing. If they do a women's tournament, they're talking about doing a women's show just like 205 Live.
Yeah, I don't really get how that will work for them. That'll probably give us more women's superstars, but, man,
Oversaturation is what I call it. Too much.
Well, it's not oversaturation. It's like being able to gain a massive wealth, but then not knowing what to do with it, and you slowly lose it over time. This is a great example. It's just like when people get their income taxes back, and if they don't spend it, like on something big, obviously, they lose it over the year because they didn't plan for it. And they don't have any use for it. So, you know, occasionally going out to dinner adds up, and occasional spending habit just adds up, and all that money that you got for your taxes is gone.
Right.
So if they have a women's tournament, it'll probably work great at the outset, just like the CWC was. But then when you get those one or two new superstars that you add to your roster, are they going to come in and make a big splash, or are they just going to fizzle out to where the women's tournament ultimately decided nothing?
Yeah. All right, I guess we can go to and also on 205 Live, it was announced that Neville will face Rich Swann at the Rumble.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that match, man. I'm a big fan of Neville.
Yep. All right, I guess we can move on to NXT now. So we started the show with a video showing Billie Kay and Peyton Royce attacking Asuka outside Full Sail, which I got laughing because in the video, like, over to the side, there's like these guys just standing there watching, like not even trying to help or anything. Did you see that? I mean, I was like, why is he not, like, stepping in and trying to break it up or anything?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were scared they would get beat up by Asuka.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good thing to be scared of, I guess. So Peyton Royce and Billie Kay beat two jobbers. Then they mock Asuka, leading to her coming out and getting beat down until Nikki Cross makes a save, and then Nikki attacks Asuka. So it looks like we're setting up for a match between these four at Mania. I mean, at Rumble, or at, Takeover.
Oh, yeah, what's the, isn't Takeover the night before the Rumble?
Yep.
Are they giving any clues yet? Well, listen, first of all, when is the Rumble?
It's the 29th.
Okay, so we still, we still got loads of time. Okay.
Yeah, we got, 2 episodes before it?
Yeah, so we got time. Is anything official yet?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, obviously we'll probably get, Shinsuke and Rude, right?
Right.
Other than that,
Shinsuke and Rude, DIY and the Authors of Pain, and then we'll have a 4-way, spoiler alert, and then, spoiler alert, Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young. That's what the Takeover card is, as of the spoilers that I read.
That's 4 matches.
Right. So we should be getting one more.
Okay. I mean, usually they come up with some debut of a new talent maybe, but it's been pretty quiet, man. It's been very quiet.
Yeah, this Takeover don't feel like it's got as much, excitement behind it as it usually does.
Yeah. The sizzle is just not there, but we will see, man. We will see. Because this is a big weekend for them, man, Yeah.
So Sanity is walking through the hall, and they're interviewed talking about why Nikki attacked Asuka, and they're talking about they're going to take, and then they walk off. Camera pans over and shows Damo watching them from the shadows. So looks like he might be joining them.
Okay. I thought he had already joined, but I got you.
Yeah. We were then serenaded by the Drifter, and then he defeats the Jobber. Andrade Almas defeats Oni Lorcan. We're told that next week Bobby Roode and Nakamura will be signing their contract for TakeOver. And then in the main event, DIY defeated the Revival to retain the tag titles and were attacked after the match by the Authors of Pain. And we finally have a name for the Powerbomb, the back-to-back Powerbomb. It's called the Super Collider.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of the 2 Powerbombs. That's awesome.
Yeah, and DIY and the Revival had another great match like they usually do.
Oh, yeah.
Although they didn't have quite as much time, so it wasn't quite as good as their previous 2, but still in around 3.5, 3 3/4 range stars.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I said, everything's building up to TakeOver. I just wish they would actually build it up more. I mean, this is a big, in my opinion, any TakeOver that precedes the Big 4 or Big 5 that the WWE have should be treated as a big deal, man.
Yeah. And I think the reason that this one is not kind of being looked over a little bit because the main event, because at the final NXT tapings, this is a big spoiler, huge spoiler, which you've probably seen it all over the internet anyway. Chris Hero has returned to NXT.
Right. Now,
so that will be probably our Mania TakeOver match.
Are you Chris Hero and Shinsuke?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. Stop, Trent. Are you serious? Nah.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me get your thoughts on Chris Hero.
To be honest, I've never seen that much of him. I've never watched that much of him. But from the people that I listen to or read on the internet, he's really, really, really good.
Okay. I have to respect your opinion. I'll just say this. Thin and in shape Chris Hero was awesome. I don't think overweight jersey-wearing Chris Hero is that good.
Yeah. Well, he don't wear, a shirt when he wrestles, so it's kind of distracting a little bit. Just weird to see him with a gut. Yeah, he can pull off these phenomenal maneuvers.
Yeah, like here again, Kevin Owens is probably the only one that's going to be. Kevin Owens and probably Damo, right? But they're on different shows. Are going to be the only guys that can pull off the overweight. Bull Dipsy was terrible at it. I don't know. Chris Hero proved me wrong, but I don't think it's going to work, man. I think he's coming back for a big payday. But Chris Hero and Shinsuke, can you? Nah. Yeah. I don't see that happening one bit.
Well, I say that because when he comes out, he actually comes out to the ring when Shinsuke's in there and, looks at the belt or, grabs the belt or something.
Yeah, I saw that, man, and I think that's awesome. But
I think you're going to be. I think you're going to be very surprised and shocked. I think they are going to have a match. And I think it's going to be really, really, really good.
Well, here's the
But I
thing.
could be wrong.
Nakamura debuted during WrestleMania weekend, Takeover Dallas.
Yeah.
To have literally your 1-year anniversary and you're facing Cassius Ohno or Chris Hero, stop. that makes me laugh.
Who else would he face?
Huh?
Who else would he face? Rude again?
Well, maybe he does. Maybe he goes up against Samoa Joe for like the 18th time. I don't know.
No, that's something else we forgot to talk about.
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Joe's rumored to be a Rumble guy, be in the Rumble and going to the main roster.
Okay, I can see that.
That might be our SmackDown title picture.
Samoa Joe and John Cena?
Yeah, or a three-way between him, Cena, and Styles.
Okay, I can see that working. I can definitely see that working. Yeah, because they need more main event guys over on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Okay, cool.
All right, so I guess the final thing for this week that we need to do is talk about this UK tournament that's happening tomorrow and Sunday.
Okay.
Did you get a chance to look at any of these guys or anything?
Yes, I did.
Anything impress you?
No.
Well, okay.
Crickets.
Well, that's a great way to bring the tournament down.
No, it's just I didn't have that much time to look at the 25 moves of death for all these guys, man. I don't even know the. No, I did. I did.
All right.
Is this going to be on the network?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be on at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, it's a 2-day tournament, right?
Right.
Is this like the G1? Are they doing this like the G1, or you just got to wrestle multiple times and just get it done?
No, it's just a 2-night thing, Saturday and Sunday. So they'll do like the first round Saturday and then probably the rest of the tournament on Sunday.
But you would probably wrestle twice in one night.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not.
All right, cool.
It's not round robin though, like the G1 is.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's run through the next. You have the opening round.
Yeah, so the first round we have Tyler Bate versus Tucker. Let's see. I'm looking over on Voices of Wrestling. They have a thing that tells like who the big names are and who the not people they don't know who they are. And it looks like I think we're going to go with Tyler Bate on this one.
Yeah, I don't think they would go with Tucker. Okay, Tyler.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, then we're going to have Jordan Devlin versus Danny Burch. And Danny Burch actually had a run in NXT for a while, if you'll remember.
Yeah, he was. I don't want to say he was a jobber, but he was definitely a guy on NXT. This Devlin guy is that one of Finn Balor's guys?
Let me see.
For some reason, I want to say that Finn was sending tweets about this guy or Instagram this guy. Yeah,
that's him.
Okay, so I'm rocking with Devlin here.
Yeah, because on the did you watch the UK preview thing on the network? Or I know you don't have the network, but have you got a chance to watch that?
The 30-minute press conference thing where Regal speak?
Yeah, well, it's basically like just kind of telling a little bit about the guys.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they were really hyping Devlin as being a Balor guy.
There you go.
All right, so the next match is Trent Seven versus H.C. Dyer, and I'm going with Trent Seven because I've actually heard his name and listening to podcasts and stuff.
Okay, well, yeah, we're going with Trent Seven then. Anyone that could have Trent's name and then follow up with a
That's
7 right here, rocking.
That's right. Yep. And then next match is going to be Wolfgang against Tyson T-Bone. They got some strange names. I know that.
Yeah. I'm going Wolfgang.
Yeah, I agree.
Tyson T-Bone? All right.
All right, next we have Mark Andrews against Dan Maloney. I'm going with Andrews because I actually know who that is.
Okay.
He was in TNA. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have James Drake against Joseph Connors. I don't know either one of them. I think Willie might have said that Connors was pretty good.
Okay, Connors. Let's go Connors.
All right. And then the next one is Pete Dunne against Roy Johnson. We're going to go with Dunne because I know I've heard of him. He actually was in the Battle of Los Angeles tournament in PWG this past year. And then the final first-round match, we have Saxon Huxley against Sam Gradwell. And I don't know anything about either one of these.
What was the first guy's name?
Saxon Huxley.
And then the second guy's name was what?
Sam Gradwell.
Wow. Give me the names, first of all. Let's go with Gladwell.
All right. Now we're in the second round. We got Tyler Bate against Jordan Devlin.
Devlin, yeah.
Trent 7 versus Wolfgang. I'm going with Trent 7.
Okay, Trent 7.
Mark Andrews and Joseph Connors. I guess Connors. We'll go with Connors. And then Pete Dunne and Sam Gradwell. We'll go with Pete Dunne.
Dunne, yes.
All right. And then we're in the quarters or the semis. Jordan Devlin against Trent 7. This is a hard one. We have the Finn Balor guy against the guy that has a pretty good reputation overseas.
I'm going Trent 7.
All right. I think we should just make Trent 7 the winner. Pete Dunne against Joseph Connors. I'll go with Pete Dunne on this one.
Okay.
And then in the finals, we'll have Trent 7 against Pete Dunne. Let's go with Trent 7.
Trent 7 all the way, man. Listen, so they'll have to wrestle 2 matches per day, right? I mean, unless the second round is just going to go 3.
On the second night, they'll probably have to wrestle twice because the first night will be the whole first round.
Right, but the first round is only 1 match.
Right.
Like how we have it right now, Trent 7 and Pete Dunne, they might have to wrestle 3 times on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that's why I was thinking that maybe the first 2 rounds are done.
That's going to be that would be 12 matches.
Right. So yeah, I can see them.
Yeah, if you do like the first round, that'll be 8 matches the first night and 7 matches the second night.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's
a lot. But we will crown a UK champion. What's the official title?
It'll be a UK title, and I'm guessing we'll probably never hear from these people again.
Nicely done, man. Nicely done.
This seems like an idea that WWE has, and they just won't follow through with it. Like, it'll be treated like a cruiserweight.
Wow. Yeah, man, I heard there are some rumblings of another TV show over in the UK, another UK wrestling show. So, maybe WWE's just trying to combat that.
Yeah, they revived the World of Sport show, which is basically the World of Sport is where like people like Regal and Finlay came from.
Okay, all right. So I don't know if this draws viewers away from that, but congratulations to whoever will be the UK champion. You'll be
and what I've read is WWE are planning on doing also a Asian and Latin America tournament in the future. There are talks about it.
I'm done with this. This is getting out of hand. This is ridiculous, man. Like, it's not ridiculous to have those champions, but where does it go from there? Like, you might as well give them a certificate. What do you?
And another thing, it's monopolizing the business with WWE, that they're having control of all these other like now, like people can go to like these WWE friendly other companies like Evolve or like ICW or Progress, where they still have affiliations with WWE. There's not going to be many promotions out there that's not going to have an affiliation with WWE.
Like, I'm not knocking that. Like, I'm really not knocking that. But to say that they're a champion is one thing versus saying that they were the tournament winner.
Yeah.
If they're the champion and they travel, they need to be able to defend that title, and I doubt they're going to WWE places. Like, they might go to Evolve and all the other independents that the WWE pretty much has their hand in. But are they going to defend the title, and is they going to be reflected on WWE television? It makes no sense. Yeah,
they might defend the title, but I don't think we'll hear about it on WWE.
Right. So why even have a champion? If you want to give them a trophy, fine. Like, get the trophy.
Or make it kind of like the winner gets a contract with WWE, like the actual main roster or something, or NXT.
I think that's awesome too. I think that would definitely work. But do not present them with a different colored title and then act like it's a great day in history for the WWE and the UK when you're never going back to do anything with titles.
Yeah. And we also get the lovely announcing of Michael Cole and Nigel McGuinness. Like, of all people, Michael Cole, where's Morrow at for this?
So that was another thing I wanted to bring up. The WWE got Morrow to steal him from the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Because they're not doing a dang thing with Morrow.
Yeah.
They had Tom Phillips over there, and he's really controlling the action, and Morrow gets to do the color commentating. But yeah, I don't know why Morrow wouldn't go over to the UK with as much time as he puts into studying the athletes that are in the ring, the moves, their backgrounds, coming up with things creative to say during the match. I think him and Nigel McGuinness could just flow off of one another. Michael Cole.
Oh, absolutely.
Michael Cole
Yeah.
is just terrible.
Yeah. I guess it could be worse. It could be JBL or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they saw how great of a job Morrow and Daniel Bryan worked together on the Cruiserweight Classic, and they didn't want to build everyone's hopes up.
Yeah.
So they put Michael Cole on the commentating crew to keep a standard of mediocre announcing during this term.
Yep. And one last thing that I almost forgot about that I just remembered. Hall of Fame's coming up. We have rumored names for it.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have Rick Rude, DDP, the Natural Disasters, which were Earthquake and Typhoon, Mike Rotundo, and the one, Christian, and the one that I'm looking forward to, William Regal.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Who's your headliner then?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If it can't be Rude because he's dead, it has to be DDP, Christian, or Regal.
I don't know, man. No disrespect to any of those guys. Christian was very good. DDP was a champion, but when he came to WWE, he was just good. And then William Regal never got the credit that he deserved for being a great hand. Maybe they give him the floor to just open up and do his thing, and this could be his championship. But from the list of names, there's nothing that's mind-boggling. There's nothing that sounds exciting about this Hall of Fame.
I mean, I'm happy for Regal, but, the rest of the class don't really stand out. Maybe they have one or two more. We don't have a woman, and we don't have a celebrity. Oh, and we also don't have our Warrior Award yet.
That's the award that you love so much, correct?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But no, I mean...
Speaking of Regal, why did they not get him to announce this tournament? He would be great on commentary.
You think so?
I think he would.
Well, and isn't Nigel McGuinness from the UK?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
why not
you already
just let two UK guys do it?
Huh?
Yeah, but why not just have two UK guys do it? It's a UK tournament. Why not just let two UK guys do it?
Well, I'm not against it. I'm not against that at all. But you already have the one accent, and then you want to bring the WWE flair to it. It's either Morrow or it's Michael Cole, and they went with mediocrity in Michael Cole. So.
Yeah, but who do you think if this is the actual class of Hall of Fame, who do you think inducts these people? Obviously, Edge will do for Christian.
Right. Wow.
Be Jake for DDP?
It'll definitely be Jake for DDP. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this Hall of Fame is not about the excellence of their wrestling ability. It's more about a great opportunity for them to establish a show based on old stories, and people, and probably having their inductors make a great impression on the audience. So, Jake for DDP. I had no idea for the typhoon and earthquake.
Yeah. Which earthquake? He can't even be there. He's dead.
Yeah, that is right. I don't know, man.
Maybe Jimmy Hart. He was their manager.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart could definitely do it. Maybe Heenan for Rude. I don't know what his.
Heenan ain't gonna do it. He can't talk.
Yeah, he can't even talk anymore. This is getting pretty light, man. But for Regal, it's definitely not to Jerry. Maybe Dave Taylor.
Triple H will do it.
Do you really want that to happen?
I don't want it to, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay, just looking at
they're really good friends.
Right, but looking at the list so far, this is a terrible Hall of Fame show.
Yeah.
Most of the persons are
headline. Yeah.
Most of these persons are dead. It's just good. I mean, here's the thing. They announced the headliner a couple of weeks before. They started announcing the others, because when tickets go on sale, I can't see any of these people being a headliner to where people would want to actually buy tickets to go see it. Well, remember when they first sorry, my bad. This is in Orlando, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last year when it was in Texas, we thought maybe The Undertaker. I don't know who. Man, is anyone live in Orlando?
I think no, none of them live in Orlando, but or none of them live in Florida now. But I think DDP's career started in Florida. I think Christian might live in Florida now.
Who was the first person that they announced for the Hall of Fame?
When?
Oh, they haven't done. I saw it on the wrestling sites.
The first person they announced was DDP.
Okay, so DDP would obviously be your headliner then, right? I mean, that's hard to say, but right?
Yeah, I guess, unless that's just happened to be the first person they got, notice of.
Okay. Well,
That's what's on this,
yeah, this is going to be a
Well,
terrible Hall of Fame.
I think it is going to be DDP.
This is going to be a terrible Hall of Fame class. We still need a female and we need a celebrity. So they have time. Maybe they can get their act in order as far as a celebrity to bring a little bit more sizzle to it. But this is a terrible class.
I know. You think they're going to do Shaq for the celebrity since he's already going to be there?
Probably. They probably will. I mean, if he...
I would say they need to do Ali, but we already have enough dead people going in, so...
Nicely done, man. Are we ending the show on that? That was amazing.
No. Really quick, though, what about the women? Who do you think should go in for that?
I don't know, man. Like, I always doze off when they do the women inductions. They did Lita. They done Trish. Maybe Mickey. I doubt it. But yeah, I don't know, man.
Sable?
I was thinking that, but nah. Like, no. It's pointless, man. It's just pointless, right? I think.
Yeah. I already did Jacqueline. Maybe Ivory. Heck, she's so good. I'd say go ahead and put in Alexa Bliss. She's so good she can already be in there.
Wow. Shocker. But wow. Oh man.
That's a better way to end the show.
Okay, that's how we're gonna end the show then.
Yeah. Alexa Bliss in the Hall of Fame, 2017.
Wow. One championship reign under her belt, and she's already in the Hall of Fame. Nicely done.
Yep. And even if she's not considered for their Hall of Fame, she's got the Hall of Fame in my heart.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. This has been a great, crazy show. Guys, ladies, listeners of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, thank you for listening. Make sure that you hit us up on social media, on the internet platforms that are out there. You can hit up the show at our official Twitter page for the show at
TWF_podcast.
Ladies, make sure that you slide into Trent's DMs. You can tweet Trent at
MTW3589. And also, don't forget about my blog at mythoughtsonprowrestling.blogspot.com.
Shameless
And at Blogspot or is it Blogger?
Your what?
Is it the blog thing that I did? Was it Blogspot that I did it on, or was it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's it.
Like the shirt?
That's it. My thoughts on prowrestling.blogspot.com.
You can hit me up on Twitter at Bagel South. Trent, our Facebook page for the show is
Facebook.com/TWF podcast.
And you can always send us email to our email address. Our email address is twfpodcast@gmail.com. And finally, make sure that you check out all the videos. You can listen to the podcast on YouTube at our YouTube channel, The Wrestling Fans Podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and to our Facebook page as well. Make sure that you like, heart, retweet, LOL, smiley face to a bunch of stuff.
Just don't give us the third emoji.
With that said, Trent, this was an awesome show, man. Thank you for joining.